Okay, and so we only saw 3 chaupais. We did not go much further in the last class. So we will see that today. It's a very important thing that we are going to see because, Kakabhushan said that he's going to talk about the Gnanam, right? And so this is the where he's talking about the Advaita Vedanta. Okay, so this shows how well versed was Kakabhushan in bhakti and also in gnana. But his favorite was bhakti, that's all. So but he had the knowledge of both of them. So that's what we will be seeing it today. Today's class is little more serious class. Okay, so let us go ahead and start. Okay. Oh. 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 Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Neelambujasyamalakoma Sita Samaropitavamabhagam Panau Sayakacharuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvamshanatham Atulita Baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krushanam Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Gunanidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami Namah Shri Tulasi Dasa Sadvarishtaya Dhimate Puritam Hrudayam Ena Rama Premamrute Name. Do you all feel hot? I feel. Oh, she is always cold. Okay. Okay, so when Garudji asked Kakabhushandi, what is the difference between Gnana and Bhakti? And Kakabhushandi said, actually, there is no real difference between Bhakti and Gnana. When the end, the results is concerned. Because through Bhakti, you can reach moksha. Through Gnana, you can reach moksha also. So there is no real difference there. But what difference between Gnana and Bhakti we can make is, in Bhakti, you have the support of Bhagavan. Okay, so, but in case of Gnana, you are on your own. That means you have to do everything with your own self-effort. And Maya is the under the control of Bhagavan. So because she is under the control of Bhagavan, in Bhakti, Maya does not bother the Bhakta so much. There might be a little bit, but it's not like, you'll get infatuated, you come under the Maya, the illusion and all that. So that is where the difference is. But in case of a Gnana, okay, since Bhagavan is not the support there, Maya takes over. For everything, you will become like a illusion. So there, fear will be there, kama will be there, the what you call lobha, all these things will be there, and that is all the relatives of Maya. So they will bother you a lot in case of gnana. But you can come over that. It's not that you cannot come over that. If you have that strong willpower, so I'm not going to come under the Maya. You can take the gnana path, and you can reach the moksha also. But between the bhakti and gnana, bhakti feels like it is much easier because you have the support. Bhagwan is always there to help you. You just have to beg him and say, and come under him, surrender to him, genuinely, truly. Not, oh, Bhagwan, I surrender to you. It should not be like a business with Bhagwan. I do this one and you do this to me. That should not be there. So that's what he said. And then Kakabhushandi said, there is one more difference also between the bhakti and gnana. And that is where he started telling about Akata Kahani. This Akata Kahani is the story of a jiva. And what happens here is this story about the jiva, people who understand, they will understand. But not everybody is able to understand the story of this jiva. And even for the teacher, it is not very easy to describe also what it is. Okay, because you are talking about something that you cannot show as an object. It is another consciousness. It is not something is, look here is the consciousness. This is what I'm talking about. It is not there. So it is all in the vrittis, in the thoughts. So that is the reason it becomes difficult to tell about the jiva also. But this is but he's talking about the jiva here. And see, we say here it said every jiva is a part of the Bhagavan. If Bhagavan is Satchidananda Bhagavan, then we are also Satchidananda Bhagavan. But we don't act like that. We are not aware of that also. When we talk about Satchidananda Bhagavan and his nature and all that, we say, where is that in me? I'm completely opposite to that one. He is all compassionate Bhagavan. I am compassionate sometimes, especially for my own family. But when it comes to outside the family, I don't have that much of compassion. So how can be that one? So this kind of questions arise in our mind. Okay, so because this is all because of avidya, ignorance. And so we are bound by the ignorance here. And even this bondage, what we have is, it is for our own body. With the body, with the relations, everything, and that so much importance we give it to this body also. And so we forget about everything else. But here it's, and we know in the last class I said this body is inert and it is made of 5 elements and all that. And the Bhagavan is consciousness. It is consciousness is not made of something. It is consciousness. It is there forever. It is not something it is born at one time and dies. But this body, the 5 elements, it is born and it dies also. Okay. So, but there is some kind of a connection between this consciousness and this inert body. And even though it is not like a real connection, but we still feel that one. We still feel we are bound. And in the last class, I said, what is jiva? What is this we human beings are? We are consciousness plus 5 elements. So we have that consciousness, because if there is no consciousness, we cannot say consciousness is all pervading. So if it is all pervading, it has to pervade through me also. So there is that consciousness, but we are not paying attention to that, because we are so much involved with nama and rupa, the name and the form. Our attention is only towards nama and rupa, so our attention does not go towards consciousness. So this is the problem. So here So the bondage is not actually a real bondage. It is as though there is a bondage. That's all. Because once we realize I am that consciousness, and said, you don't have any connection with the body in the sense, don't get me wrong. Once you become a liberated person, consciousness, you realize the body dies. No, it does not. Okay. But you realize from the beginning, I was that consciousness, but I was thinking I was this body. And then you see this consciousness all pervading and all like loving and all that. Then you feel that love towards everybody in the world. So you still continue with the body. So don't think that once you got the moksha, the body falls off. If the body did die with the moksha, there won't be anybody to talk about moksha, liberation. And they will be afraid also to get moksha and say, oh, I'm going to die, if I get liberated. So it is not like that. Okay. So here, it's true, right? If everybody got moksha and they died at the same minute, so, so here we have to see how we can snap this, the unreal bondage, as though there is a bondage. There is no bondage, but we feel we are bound. That's why I'm not able to realize who I am. So how to snap this one? Okay. So all our ignorance, it is what we call darkness. So we will see how it can be snapped here. So here it says 4b that we are seeing. Asa sanjoga isa jabakarayi tabahu kadachit so niru arayi. So when will this snapping of this bondage happens? Only with the isa jabakarayi, only with the grace of that Bhagavan. When the grace is there, the following things are going to happen. Okay. And with that one, you will be able to snap the bondage. So tabahu, so that time. Kadachit, perhaps. Okay, perhaps the to niru arai. So the knot of the heart can be cut asunder. Okay. And now this is where this Tulsidas ji, he takes the metaphor of Gnana Deepa. Okay. And he describes in detail and complete detail. It's a long metaphor. Okay. And what he says here is, to get the darkness out, you need a light. That, without the light, there is no way you can get rid of the darkness. You cannot take a mop or a sweeper and say, I'm going to sweep the darkness. There's no way. Light is the only way you can get the darkness out. So here, this is called Gnana Deepa, okay, the light of knowledge. And for if you just take the regular Deepam, what all do you need? You need the container, you need the ghee, you need the wick, and you have to put it in a proper place where the stand should be firm. It should not be shaking. All these details, okay. And then for the ghee, how do you make the ghee? So for the ghee, you need the butter. For the butter, you need the yogurt, curds. And for the curds, you need the milk. For the milk, you need the cow. So he starts from the cow. So this metaphor starts from the cow and all the way through lighting the lamp. And then he says, that is not enough. You have to keep it where there is no wind, because it might go off. So all this beautiful metaphor is there. So that is what we are going to see today. So we'll see the 5A now. Next one. Satvika Shraddha Denu Suhayi Jauhari Krupa Hrudaya Basa Ayi. So what is that Suhayi Dhenu? That beautiful cow, Dhenu, okay? Beautiful cow is Satvika Shraddha. Shraddha is the faith. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about 3 kinds of Shraddha in Shraddhatre Vibhaga Yoga, 17th chapter. Okay. And so he talks about what is Satvik Shraddha, what is Rajasic Shraddha, and what is Tamasic Shraddha also. And what is Satvik Shraddha? That Shraddha which is selfless. Okay. It is pure. It makes you calm. That is Satvik Shraddha, Sattva Guna. I'm not talking Satvik Shraddha, but what is Sattva Guna I'm talking about. So there are three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Sattva is where, your nature is pure and you are selfless. Rajasic is, Rajasic is not bad, but you are not selfless, but you are selfish there. That's okay. And Tamasic, we all know, we use that word tamas so much in all our language. Tamas has come over me. What is that? Laziness. It is dull. So here he's talking about Satvika Shraddha. So, and what is this Satvika Shraddha? As I said, since it is pure, it is for the Gnana. Okay, Satvika Shraddha is for Gnana, that you need that one. And in what is that Shraddha in which is Satvik? Having this Shraddha, the faith in our scriptures, and also in Guru, whatever Guru says. That faith is very, very important. In the beginning, what happens, whatever the Guru says, we don't understand. Okay. And whatever the scripture says, we don't understand. So many times we lose faith in that one. I don't think this is, it's like a cock and bull story. I don't understand. So it is not true. But if you have the total Shraddha, right now I don't understand. But if I keep, trying to make sense of this one, and do all the sadhanas that prescribed also, then I am going to understand this. So this Shraddha should be there. So this is Satvika Shraddha in Vedanta Vakyeshu and Guru Upadesha. Both of them we should have. So for everything, actually, if you see, Shraddha is very important. Without Shraddha, there is no action. Okay, that's why it says Shraddha is Kruti Hetu. It is the means for motivate. It is a motivating factor. Just think of it. Okay, like say I want to go to heavens. Okay. So somebody said, heaven is very beautiful. You will have all the enjoyments and all those things. So I want to go to heaven. But you have to have faith that, there is a place called heaven. Unless you have the faith, there is a place called heaven, why would you work for that? So, yeah, there is no motivation. So for any action you see, the motivation is very important. And for that, Shraddha is very important. Okay, so Shraddha can be, at a very lower level, and it could be at a higher level also. But Shraddha is very important. And the other faith that we have to have is in our ability to do. If I don't have Shraddha, faith in my own ability, why would I take it? I say, forget it. I don't think I can do it. So there is no action. So Shraddha is the Kruti Hetu. It is the motivating factor. Shraddha it is. Okay. So here it says, so first Satvika Shraddha Denu Suhai. So Satvika Shraddha, which is the Denu, cow, that is needed. Okay. And here the word Dhenu is used. What is the difference between Dhenu and an ordinary cow? Okay. Dhenu is the one that had the calf. Okay. So that is important. So we will see why the Dhenu, the word Dhenu is used instead of just a gav, the cow. Okay. So Dhenu is the one that has the baby calf. So that one. And Johari Krupa Hrudaya Basu Ai. So if by God's grace, Hari Krupa, this kind of Satvika Shraddha comes to our heart. Okay, comes to your heart. So you see, that's why it says Ishwaranugrahat Yevam Pumsam Advaita Vasana. It's only because of Bhagavan's grace, even the thought of studying the Advaita, Vedanta, it is also because of God's grace only. So here you remember we are talking about Gnana. So that's why, I brought that one up. Even to study the Vedanta, you need that Bhagavan's grace here. And if that first thing that the Satvika Shraddha, that is the cow has come, and where is it going to say? It says Hrudaya bas aayi. So it has come and stayed in my heart. So that is only because of Bhagavan's Krupa only. Bas aayi. So you can say cow shed is my heart now. So where the Dhenu has come here. And if you have the cow, okay, then you have to take care of it. So you should know how to nurture the cow. Then only it can give good milk. If not, if you don't feed it properly and all that, then there is no milk coming also. Okay, so here you have to take care of it. And here Kakabhushandi says nurturing the cow. Okay, but to nurture the gnana, what you also need to do some sadhanas. So that is what given in the next chaupai here. So we will read the 5A and 5B. Japa tapa vrata jama niyama apara, jo shruti kaha subha dharma achara. Teyi truna harita charai jab gayi, bhava bachcha sisu pai penhayi. So what is it that you need to feed the cow? It says, Teyi truna harita charai jab gayi. They are not muted. So here for the cow, you need truna harita, green grass you need. You don't give the dry grass all the time. You have to give the green grass only. What it will make the cow? It makes it happy. And it gives good milk also. So, even in India, even though they have all the dry, the hay that they have, stacked up, but still they bring that, the fresh ones and they give that one. So here, so since it is the Satvika, but here the cow is Satvika Shraddha. So for the Satvik Shraddha, what do you need? Japa, tapa, vrata, jama, niyama, apara. So, japa, all of us know about japa, right? So we don't have to talk a whole lot of japa. So the repetition of a single name or a mantra is called japa. And there are 4 different types of japa. So you all know that? Okay, so let's see that one. Okay, so I'll just go over through little bit. I'm not going to go in detail about that one. So japa repetition. Actually, you know what? Jyotiji was talking about that 1-day camp here on March the 11th, and it will be divided, like elementary, middle, and if high school comes, they will be taken. But most of the time, high schoolers won't come. They want a Saturday off. They will stay home. So whatever it is. But for the middle schoolers, I'm taking the class for the middle schoolers, and I'm talking to them in 2 sessions. Everything they need to know about japa. That's my topic. So it will be nice. It will be fun. So if you have a middle schoolers, you make sure that you register and come for that. Okay. So here 4 kinds of japa is there. One is called Vaikari. Vaikari is the one where you do the japa loud. Okay, so when do they do the loud japa? It is no, that is not. See, japa is repetition of the same mantra, so it is not during homas. Okay, so it is like in some of the places, for example, Divine Life Society. Ever since that Swami Shivananda ji was there, they started this Akhanda japa. Doing this Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai. No, they do Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. From that time, it has never stopped. So people come, they will sign up for about 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is, and it is still going on.
It never stops.
It never stops. Same way, there is one in South, it's called Anand Ashram. Okay, Papa Ramdas. That is his ashram. There it is Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
There's one in Gujarat.
Yeah.
Also, they do Gurudev mantra.
Yeah.
But that's also Sri Ram Jai Ram. Last 50 years it hasn't stopped.
Yeah. And it, they don't stop at all. Continuously it goes on. So that is called Vaikari. Vaikari japa. Okay. The next one comes Upamshu. Upamshu is whispering. So, sometimes what happens when you are doing the japa, the mental japa, the mind goes. But if you start doing the whispering, the mind comes back. And then you can go back to mental japa again. Okay, so that is called whispering, where even the person who is sitting next to you cannot hear. Of course, during japa, nobody sits with you, but even if somebody is sitting, they won't be able to hear. It's just your lips are moving. That's all. That is called upamshu. Okay, and the next one is manasika. That is chitta jam japa. So that you do it in your heart or in your mind, whatever it is. That is the best one. Okay, and then there is, we are all doing now. I hope you are all also doing likita japa. So writing it. Some great Mahatma, he has said, what is likita japa? He says, likita japa is like writing love letters to Bhagavan to get purity and concentration of the mind. It's so beautiful. I like it, that one is love letters to Bhagavan.
I just read an article because it said that in the old age, when sages used to do this japa under the tree and things like that, they always did quietly because they didn't want anyone else to know. But that also is more effective than doing loud japa.
That's the manasika japa. That is what is said in Upadeshasara, Sri Ramana Maharshi's Upadeshasara. It says, Uttamastavad Ucha Mandataha Chitta japa. Uttamastavat, compared to the one that loud japa, mandataha, whispering japa is better. But chitta, more effective is chitta japa, the one that you do mentally. Okay, because whenever you do mentally, there is no supports at all for you. There is no supports. In whispering, you have the support of your body there. So that mental japa is the most effective. But the way I look at it, it's better if the mind has gone somewhere to do the whispering japa and then go back to the mental japa again. Instead of trying to say, I can't do it, I can't do it. Then Guruji tells once, I don't know why these jokes come to me when I'm saying. Guruji says, this Swami, this Guru told his Shishya, gave the mantra and gave the japamala, and he said, you make sure, that you do the japa all the time, and don't let your mind go here and there, and keep doing that one. I think I forgot the joke properly. And the next day, not next, after a few days, the Guru asked, how is your japa going? And he says he stopped. So he said, why? Because I couldn't control the mind, so why do it? So I stopped. So, that's not the joke. That's not the way Guruji said it, because we all laughed and you did not laugh. No, that is what you call PJ. Poor joke. I did not say it properly. Okay, let's go. Okay. So that's about japa. Let's not take too much time for each one of them here. Tapa. Next one is tapa. What is tapa? Tapa is austerity. Tapa is, is what we call penance. So for penance, you need like a concentrated mind to do the meditation. And also you need solitude. That is tapa here. Okay? And we saw in Treta Yuga, tapas was the means for liberation. And then comes, of course, in Bhagavad Gita, again, you can see that Lord Krishna talks about the austerity of the body, austerity of the mind, austerity of the speech, all, and with 3 ways. Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. It's a very beautiful chapter there. And Vrata. What is Vrata? Vra, the root, if you take that one, it becomes discipline, or the will, W-I-L-L. And Rita means, following. That is the following the discipline. That is called Vrata. So in simple way, you can say, like taking a vow that I'm going to fast. But once you take that vow, you should follow that one. It says, well, I took the vow, but I couldn't do it. That's not that shows, how weak your mind is. That's all. Okay. And then comes the Jama and Niyama. So here Jama is actually Yama and Niyama. What is this Yama and Niyama? Patanjali, he has written Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, in the Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga. And what are those? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So you see the first 2, Yama and Niyama. So these are the things that are needed, for the Sattvic cow, Shraddha here. So, and what is Yama? Yama and Niyamas are disciplines and the observances. Okay, so I just wrote down it. I can never remember these things. What is there are 5 yamas and there are 5 niyamas. And what is the 5 yamas? Ahimsa and Satya and Asteya, Brahmacharya and Aparigraha. So the Ahimsa, you all know that, and Satya also you know that. Asteya is refraining from stealing. It's interesting, we say, oh, I don't steal anything, I never do that one, why have to follow? I read about Asteya. Do you know what this Swamiji said? When you overeat, that means you are stealing the food of other person.
I remember you telling that other day.
Yeah. And I said, my goodness, we think, oh, we never, yeah, yeah.
We never steal.
Yeah. So what it means is we have to live with our own limited life. Even if you buy too many clothes, you are, that is also asteya. It's very interesting, how these Mahatmas look at each word. Huh? Yeah. You live with according to your needs. That's all. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why Mahatma Gandhi said, that there is enough in this world for everybody's need, but not enough even for one person's greed. So, yeah. So that is Asteya and Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya, like a wise use of sexual energy. That's all. It doesn't mean that, you celibacy. Okay. This also, I think I must have said before, in Ramayana, when Dashrath Maharaj wants to do this Putra Kameshti Yaga, and they bring Rishyashrunga. And Rishyashrunga is known as the greatest brahmachari. He is married, but he is known for the brahmacharya. There, it says there, why he is called as a brahmachari. There it says, it had given in one of this Gita Press book. In the bottom footnote, it was written. It was in Hindi. I've forgotten. That was in 2005. I read it when I was in Sandeepini about that. I didn't mark those things here. What it says, even in a married life, there are disciplines when one person can have sex. Not every day or whenever you want to. But if you follow what is given in the Shastra, when to have the sex, then you're following the disciplines. Then you're considered as a brahmachari. Because you have so much control over your own senses. Yeah, senses and desire.
But I always thought like with saints and other people like that, they always work under Yoga Maya, which is not Maya. Like we work under Maya, but saints like, Guruji, Swamiji, they work under Yoga Maya. So they can have kids, but there doesn't mean that, like Lord Krishna had so many wives and children, but it was all, Yoga Maya. We don't think that way.
Yeah. So that's why I just said, about this brahmacharya. Most of the time we say brahmacharya is celibacy, period. Okay, but it is not. It is control over the senses. If you have total control over your senses, that is brahmacharya actually. And then aparigraha, that is non-possessiveness. Like a possessing too much. We already talked about that one. And then what is the 5 niyamas? Those are yamas. And what are the 5 niyamas? Shaucha, purity, and santosha, contentment. This is very important. We should be content with whatever we have. When there is no contentment, there is no happiness at all in life. Okay, and then tapas. We talked about tapas and swadhyaya, self-study, and Ishvara pranidhana, that is surrender to a higher source. These are the ones. So japa, tapa, visa, jama, and niyama. So we saw all of them. And then it says apara. That means there are many other sadhanas also you need. Those also needs to be done there. So when this cow of Satvik Shraddha feeds upon the green grass of japa, tapa, vrata, yama, niyama, and all that. So then what happens? Bhava bachcha sisu pai penhai. So then that cow, that Satvika Shraddha has this bhava, to love for the calf. See why we said the Dhenu, the one with the calf. So when it is happy, see, even we also, if we have a good food to eat, we are happy too, right? So when you feed the cow properly, it is very happy towards its calf also here. And then he says, Jay Shruti Kaha Sabu Dharma Achara. So he's adding more. So there are many things mentioned even in the Shrutis, in our Vedas, in our Smrutis, and all those things. And those recommended by them, those also should be followed with the Japa Tapa and all those things. And then here, Pai Penhai means that cow becomes extremely eager to feed its calf. Okay, so actually the milk oozes out, it seems, when it sees the cow there. So idea here is, in Satvik Shraddha, when this kind of prema has risen because of following all this japa tapa and everything, then the cow is ready to give the milk. So for us, it gives the result towards the gnana also. That's what it is. So, and let us see here. And when the milk is ready to come, when the milk is coming out, the cow looks forward to feed the calf. That is here. And what does in India, you are all raised in, most of you were born and raised in India, and we are all used to this cow and the calf. At least in our house, we had a cow and calf for a long time. Until I went to high school, we had it, and so the cowherd comes there. Okay. And first thing what he does is, he lets loose the calf first. And the calf goes and drinks the milk first. And then, you milk the milk for yourself. But of course, in India, they make it just, and then and we are so selfish. We want more milk, not for the calf there. Anyway, so that's what you should. And when the calf comes to the cow, like a cow is very, very happy, and it gives the milk easily. So that is, and here in one of the commentator, he makes one point here, which is not given here. So here he says, the Tulsidas ji or Kakabhushandi, he did not mention anything about the udder and the 4 teats the cow has, right? And so he says that should be added here. And those teats are nothing but the 4 feet of dharma. That is, Satya, Shaucha, Tapa, and Dana. I just wanted to mention, it is. So the next one is Noi Nivrutti Patra Viswasa Nirmala Mana Ahira Nija Dasa. So sometimes the cow is restless. So, and it might kick the cowherd who is there to milk the cow. So what they do is, they tie the back legs of the cow before they milk the cow. Okay, so here it says, Noi is the rope, and that is tied. And that is, what is the tying the rope means? It is withdrawal. It's the uparati, withdrawal from the worldly pleasures. That's what it means here. Okay, and so idea here is, Satvik Shraddha will come to your heart because of Bhagwan's Krupa only. And then with that one, all the sadhanas, japa, tapa, and all these things are done. And from that, the love that is formed, you take the cow and the gnana separate, okay? So if it is the cow, if it is fed properly, the cow feels that happiness and it wants to feed the calf. So in case of gnana, if you follow all these things, all these sadhanas, you also develop that love for gnana. And you want to read more. You want to know about those things. That's what it is here. So, but for the first thing is, I said that Shraddha is important. Without Shraddha, there is no action at all. So that Sattvic Shraddha is becomes very important, and that becomes your wealth also here. And then what it says, Patra Vishwasa. So what is the bowl, that the part that you are going to take to milk the cow? And that is Vishwasa. That is faith here. And so, and then who is the cowherd? Nirmala Mana. That is the pure mind is the cowherd. And that Ahira is the cowherd. Nija Dasa. And who is the real servant of Bhagavan. So these are the things here, it is given here. So that pure mind, which is the servant of Bhagavan, he is the Ahira. He is the cowherd. So now you see, we saw two words, Shraddha and Vishwas. What's the difference between Shraddha and Vishwas? So if you see the translation of these words, both says faith. Okay, faith or belief, things like that. But there is a very subtle difference between Shraddha and faith. Okay, see, that's why if you see the vocabulary of this Sanskrit, it's unimaginable. For everything, there is a different word. We say tears. We say tears when you are crying because you are unhappy. We say tears when you are happy also. But you go to Sanskritam, it's two different things. Like that, so here also there is a difference between Vishwasa and Shraddha. Okay, that is the reason those two words are used here. So what is the difference between Shraddha and Vishwasa? Shraddha is Vyapaka. It is broad. It is like having faith in your philosophy, having faith in your scriptures. And so that is Shraddha. But what is Vishwasa? Vishwasa is individual. Okay, so it is at individual level, Vishwasa. And so as a spiritual person, I have faith, Shraddha in our scriptures and what Guru says. But at an individual level, I have Vishwasa that what the teacher says is the right thing. What the scripture says is also right thing, and I have to follow that one. And then I have this faith, this I have this Vishwasa. They are right. Okay, and also in following the dharmas according to our stage of life and all that, I have the Vishwasa. If I follow this one, okay, it is beneficial for me. So that's the difference between Vishwasa and Shraddha. Shraddha is at a broader level. Vishwasa is at an individual level here. So Shraddha is more pervading, okay, and it is fundamental also. But where Vishwasa is, it is individual. That's what it is. And so here, Sattvic Shraddha is the cow and Vishwasa is the vessel. So Sattvic Shraddha, cow in a broader way. But Vishwasa, it is individual, our Vishwasa here. And of course, here it said Ahira, that Gopala, and Nijadasa, that pure mind of Vishwasa. And then with this one, what will I get? Milk, right? So you are milking the cow here. So here it is. And what is that milk? It is said afterwards. Okay, so we'll just keep that milk. So milk, is milked by the cowherd here. Okay, and then Oh, okay, it is right here. I thought it will come afterwards. Okay, the next one is Parama Dharmamaya Paya Duhi Bhai Avatai Anala Akama Banai. I didn't skip anything, did I? Oh, okay. So Parama Dharmamaya Paya. Paya is milk. Okay, so what is this milk? Parama Dharma. What is Parama Dharma? Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. Right? So that non-violence is the Parama Dharma. That is the greatest Dharma. So when you have love for someone, you cannot be violent towards that person. If you love someone very dearly, actually you give freedom to that person. You don't hold that person in your grip. You give full freedom. That is real love. That is said in Narada Bhakti Sutra. It says there, if you really love a person, that shows how, that the person whom you love, he's totally free, because you can never force a person to love you. So that person should have total freedom in whomever he is going to love also. And then as the, the love grows, it also becomes softer and softer and softer towards that one. So, and this milk, to make the yogurt, what do? First, you have to boil the milk. So now you have got the milk, and now you have to boil that one. And that is said, avatai anala akama banai. So here, avatai means to warm the milk. And anala akama, what is this anala? What is this fire? Akama. Desirelessness is the fire here. So we'll see all these things, and then we'll all put them together, and then, because we might forget also. And then, when you boil this milk, it removes the impurities. We know that, it goes away. And what is it that we are removing here as in Gnana? Negative thoughts. That's what we are removing, and it should go away now. So you can light the lamp of Gnana with all these virtues, what all these things were given here. So you boil the milk of the supreme dharma, that is the Parama Dharma, that is the non-violence here, and also on the fire of Akama, desirelessness. Okay. And then what do? You add a little bit of culture, but you don't add until it is cool. You do, if you put the culture when the milk is still hot, it breaks. So you have to cool it down. So now you need the culture, and you have to cool it down also. Now that is given in the next chopai. Tosha maruta tabu chama chudave, dhruti sama javanu dei jamave. Tosha and chama. Chama is kshama. So tosha is contentment. And maruta, this is the wind that blows to make it cool. So the two things that you need is contentment and forgiveness to make that hot milk cool. Cool, not cold. Cool, yeah, to cool it. Maruta. So chama is forgiveness. So I already said that, right? And then you have to put little bit of curds in it. If you put too much, it becomes too much sour. So you should know how much to put. In India, you put very little, but here you have to put more. That's what right? Yes. I don't know why. In weather?
Very
Hot, yeah.
inside we have Athens.
Yeah, that's true. So here, so culture you need very, very little here. And what is that? That's what it says. Javanu. Javanu means little. Little culture you have to put. And what is that culture? Here it says Dhruti and Sama. Dhruti is fortitude. Okay, Sama is control over your senses. These are the wind, to cool the hot milk. So this is, we needed even to cool our temper also. Right? Fortitude. Yeah. Kshama. I mean, Dhruti. Yeah, Kshama, that Sama is control over the senses. Those two things that you need, that is the culture. So after you put the culture, what do? You leave it aside for some time. It doesn't become yogurt right away. Okay. And then, and other point here he is given is, see, the milk that you boil in the container, you don't use the same container to make the yogurt many times. You pour it to another one, right? So that is given here. See, so you see, this metaphor is completely, this complete metaphor. Every step is taken, but still this commentator finds some here and there. Oh, you could have added this one, you could have added that one, anyway. So here it says, mudita mathai vichara matani, dama adhara raju satya subani. So, and what is that vessel that you pour into that hot milk to cool it down? That is called mudita. What is that? Vessel of cheerfulness. It should be like prasannata should be there. That's what it is. And then after pouring the curds into in the and you have set it aside, now it has become the yogurt curds. That's what has become. And now to get the butter out of that, what do you have to do? You have to churn. And what is the churning? Vichara matani. So you churn with this stick of vichara, with stick of reflection. So that you do. Okay. And so here, what is the vichara? That since it is gnana, it is the vichara of the atma and anatma. So we say, like what is that? Viveka, the very first word, viveka, that is, discrimination. So that is vichara. How you discriminate? So between atma and anatma, what is real or what is unreal? What is consciousness? What is inert? So what is real? In general, what do you call it real? Many people will say something that I see is real, right? No, according to Vedanta, real is that is present in all the three periods of time. So it was there before, it is there now, it will be there after also. And what is that unreal? It was not there at some point, but it came into existence. So now it is existing, and after some point, it will die also. So what is the real thing here is the consciousness. Consciousness never was born. It was there forever. So it was there before, even it is here now also, it will be there also. But this body, it came at a certain time. It is alive now, and at once of time, it is gone also. That is unreal. So this is how you see what is real and what is unreal. So you can take many, many examples, okay? So this is the kind of vichara we have to do here. And another vichara that we can do is, the happiness comes from through objects. So you have to see, does it really come from the objects? Then where is that happiness? I had mentioned it to you. When we want an object, our mind is so restless. Okay. So, but once you get that object, all that restlessness is gone and we are so happy. But actually that happiness did not come from the object. That happiness was your own nature. Because all the mind became quiet, that happiness showed up. That's all. And you are able to recognize that happiness. That's all. So all this was vichara. This is what you do, the vichara, and that is the manthan. Okay, so this is, we are talking about gnana here, right? Okay, and dhamma adhara raju satya subani. So now adhara. So now where are you going to fasten this one? To a adhara, to a pillar. Okay, so you cannot churn in the middle. Okay, I don't know if you all have seen how it is churned in our house in Mysore. As we were growing up, as I said, we had the cow. We used to do the butter in the house only. So what we used to do is, to a chair, to one of the leg, you put this thread, and then this part is down, and then you put the churning rod, and between these two threads, you put the thread like around, and then you go like this. Oh, it is so much fun. And the thing is, the chair should be heavy chair also. If not, we assume the chair also moves. So here it says adhara. So what is the adhara? Here is the control over your mind. It and the adhara dama it says. So dama is indriya nigraha, control over your body and everything. So that is the adhara. We are talking about gnana here, and that adhara has to be strong and stable also. That's what is given here. So actually, I just wrote it down, what is given in the book, what the translation says. For mudita matai bichara matani dama adhara raju satya subani. So the curds thus made should be churned in the post of cheerfulness with the churning stick of reflection, after fastening the stick to the pillar of self-restraint, and churn with the rope of truthful and pleasing words. See, I explained to you for about 20 minutes, I guess. I could have done it in such a small thing. Okay. But this is where, we understand properly. When sometimes just the translation doesn't give all that meaning. So when we see every word of it, then it becomes more sense also here. And okay, let's do one more chopai, and then we will... तब मथी काड़ी लई नवनीता बिमल biraga subaga punita. So we all know Navanita. Navanita is the butter. Okay. So Navanita, that comes out of the churning by the using the stick and everything. And that butter, what is that butter? It says Bimala Biraga Subaga Supunita. It is butter of pure viraga, pure dispassion, vairagya. And then Subaga, it is nutritious and it is beautiful also to see. And Supanita, it is holy also. So from the Sattvic Shraddha, the cow, the milk of Parama Dharma, from that we have come to butter now. So we have come to that point. Now, after the butter has come, what do we need? We need to make it into ghee. Okay. So let's do at least one doha. The second doha we will take it in the next class. So what is this for butter to make the ghee? We need the fuel, right? We need the heat, the thing. So that's what is given here. How do you get that one? Joga agini kari pragata tab karma subha subalayi buddhi siravai jnana grut mamata mala jari jai. So from the butter of vairagya, dispassion, you get jnana gruta. That is the ghee of knowledge. Okay. And what is the fire? It is given yoga agini kari pragata. So kindling with the fire of yoga. And what is yoga? Concentration of the mind. In Patanjali, he writes, what is yoga? He says chitta vritti nirodha. So that is the removing the fluctuations of the mind. That is yoga. So concentration of the mind. And then and also it says here subha subhalai, right? So when the fire has started, you have to keep it going. Once you start in it, if it goes away, you are not going to get any ghee out of that. And what is the fuel that to make it keep going? It is shubha and ashubha karmas, our own karmas. Okay, that is the one. And then we will see it little more of that one. And then what happens? Then the ghee is ready. But you cannot use that hot ghee to light the lamp, right? And you have to filter that and then remove all the impurities that is there also. And I think there is more impurities in this country than in India. Every time I make ghee, so much comes out in the bottom. Anyway, let's go. So Mamata, and what is that Jnana Gruta ghee of knowledge? That is what is the mala? What is the impurities here? Mamata mala jari jai. So any kind of impurities that is there, it has to be removed, and the dirt is mamata. And what is that mamata? Attachments, worldly attachments. That needs to be removed. So we will stop here, because if I take the next doha, it is going to take at least another 10 minutes there. So we will stop here, and then we will see that one in our next class. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om Gita.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Gita ji, thank you.
Hari Om Gita ji.
Hari Om.